Om Sadashiva-Samarambham Shankaracharya-Madhyamam Asmadacharya-Paryantam Vande Guru-Paramparam Yadavidya-Vilasena Bhuta-Bhautika-Srishtayaha Tam Naumi Paramatmanam Sachidananda-Vigraham. Okay, I received one question about the previous this. Any other questions or clarifications before I go ahead? Very simple, you can most likely end this chapter today and then
Swamiji, one small dot.
yeah.
Godhead consciousness, one is Godhead, the other one is the Maya Sahitam, right? There are two explained by 10 pages earlier. One is Godhead, the other one is Maya Sahita, which is...
There is no two, there's only one consciousness.
uh,
There's only one consciousness. Two ways of looking at it.
okay.
If you take as an individual Maya Avichinnam Brahman, then you will take God as a Godhead, separate. If you take the consciousness as Maya Shabalam Brahma, Maya as an Upadi, Maya Upahitam Brahma, then there is only consciousness, manifestation as Ishvara.
Same as Chidabhasa?
Chidabhasa is for the individual.
Okay, individual. This
So the
cosmic.
the individual, when you say Chidabhasa, it's the consciousness manifest in a given mind.
Okay.
So that is what we then further thing becomes knower. Then there is knowledge of an object, and the knowledge of the object and knower, the knowledge has to reside in a knower. No? Knowledge cannot stand apart from a knower.
It's actually one and the same, right?
Not one. See, you have to look at the reality as one and the same and functional differences.
Okay.
Yeah, the differences are in function. Reality is one.
Reality is only one consciousness,
Yeah.
right?
But when you, because of the functioning, you look at it from multiple standpoints. Even Ishvara and Jiva are standpoints. No? What is there is one consciousness alone. Yeah. So that way, yeah. Any other questions?
So, Swamiji,
Yeah.
here, not so much a question, but just a clarification of my understanding. So, I progress in Vedanta, the world which I initially considered to be real, I see that it has a vyavaharika, satyam to it, but finally when the knowledge is clear to me, even the world is pratibhasika, is the way I understood it. Is that correct?
Yeah, from one standpoint you can say pratibhasika, but you know why we don't call it like that? Because then you'll have to say within pratibhasika there is another pratibhasika. So that's why we call it as vyavaharika and paramarthika difference. We accept that difference in the functioning world. That's why I said they are all not divisions of reality, they are divisions in Maya, in Mithyatvam. Because how much it is manifest, how mithya it is. Pratibhasikam is very subjective. Vyavaharikam has got some transactional validity. Absolute reality is what is there. So when you say that after knowledge even Vyavahara becomes Pratibhasikam, then the problem will come up is it will become subjectivism. The world is inside you business. Then remember the Zen master talking. Yeah. Yeah. The world is inside you as consciousness. You can say everything is inside Ishvara's mind. Yeah. Now your mind happens to be a part of the cosmic mind, Hiranyagarbha. But there is always that disconnect is always there. Therefore, we use attempts at connecting up experientially or through tools, etc. To get insights into other things. Yeah. So, whether you are studying physics or astrology, you are actually trying to know what is the mind of God anyway. Ishvara's mind you are trying to know. Okay. Okay. Let us see one more Purvapaksha before this section gets over. The twofold destruction, all that we saw. Then it is not that right now it is silver is not there, silver was never there. All that we saw last time, all that is clear, I hope. Okay. So, and the stillness of the class can either show that they have understood or not understood, or struggling with understanding my question.
Okay. Swamiji, can you just recap that last part about this counter positive and all? I'm not very clear.
That's what we have to go into this time. See,
okay.
See, when you say counter positive, it's a Tarkika way of presenting something. That's why I did Tarka Sangraha first, just to make you familiar with certain ways of presenting it. In our simple functioning, we will say pot is pot. Pot is not there, pot is not there. We are not bothered much about how we perceive, what is the methodology, all that we don't bother. Pot is there, dekha, dekha, pot hai. Pot is not there, pot is not there. But the Tarkika looks at it something slightly differently. He says if you have to say a thing is not there, it should be the counter positive of its own abhava. Ghata abhava pratiyogi is ghata. When you say ghata exists, what do you mean saying? It is the opposite of absence of pot. That's all, is the way of presenting it. Because he presents it like that, the next Purvapaksha comes up. Because I am explaining all that so that you understand the Purvapaksha, otherwise you will not understand Purvapaksha, you won't understand Siddhanta. You will say, what's all this happening? See, any argument against Vedanta has to come from a certain standpoint. It can come from an experiential standpoint, I feel like that. That's simple. That's what we take care of in our simple unfoldment. Or an argument against Vedanta can come from another school of thought. Like Tarka is a school of thought. It's a very well developed school of thought. There's a philosophy behind it, there's a methodology behind it, all that is there. From that it can challenge. It can challenge from Sankhya. You can challenge from Vishishta Dvaita or Dvaita, or from science, or from materialism, dialectical materialism of the communists. The challenge can come from anything. So you have to understand from where the challenge is coming and you are answering that. That's a little bit scholarly. But remember, this class I had warned you all right from the beginning. Beginners will struggle in this class, I had said that. After you study the Gita, the Upanishads, the Brahma Sutras, then you come here. Even though this can be taught as a Prakarana Grantha separately, like how I am doing now, whether you are this thing or not, I am still doing it. Yeah. But there will be some struggle in it, and that is what you need to do. That's why the videos are put up so you can go over it again and things like that. Yeah. See, I simplified even my video making process. But that doesn't mean there is no work involved in it, okay? So, and whom is it meant for? Is very few strangers will walk in and want to listen to my YouTube channel and want to listen to Vedanta Paribhasa. Yeah. Only serious students will want to do that. So it's good to do that, you know. Yeah. Of course, you can always ask, you know, when we are marine trainees, we are a small cabin to ourselves for all. So that we can, it's like more like a common room, you know. You could change into your working clothes and things like that. Relax up. So you put a board outside. I spend 8 hours of my day in the workshop. Do you expect me to work too? So similarly, people can also ask, I attend the class, you will expect me to listen to the video also? Up to you all, how much you want to understand. Up to you all, okay. Yeah. All right, then keeping that in mind, there is a Purvapaksha now. Nanu pratibhasika rajate paramartikatvam avagatam nava. Here paramartikam is not taken as absolute, it is taken as vyavaharikam actually. But the Nayayika is talking, since he does not expect or accept a paramartikam absolute reality, for him vyavaharikam is absolute. That's why the terminology has come. Am I making myself clear? Okay. Therefore he says, Nanu, when you are seeing that pratibhasika rajate, you are seeing that illusory silver on the piece of shell, paramarthikam avagatam nava, do you know the reality that is there, there is only shell or not? Our stand is we don't know, isn't it? Anavagame, if you don't accept that you know, pratiyogita avachedaka avachinna rajata sattva ajnana jnana abhavad abhava pratyaksha anupati. Now look at it. You don't know the shell, correct? That's why you're seeing the silver. I don't know the shell. If I don't know the shell, he is saying, anavagame, what is the counterpositive of the silver you are seeing? Gata abhava pratiyogi is gata, correct? Don't forget all of Tarka Sangra. I just explained it 5 minutes back. Gata abhava pratiyogi. The counterpositive of gata abhava is gata. If the rajatam is pratibhasikam, does it enjoy rajata abhava pratiyogitvam? सोच लो थोड़ा. Okay. What is Rajata Abhava Pratiyogi? If you have to say silver is there, forget the example. If you have to say a book is there, what is the counterpositive of the book? What is the book, the counterpositive of?
The absence of the book.
So Gata Abhava Pratiyogi is Gataha, book Abhava Pratiyogi is book, Rajata Abhava Pratiyogi is Rajatam. Correct?
Yeah.
Can you say that for the silver?
No,
That-
Swamiji, you can't.
Ah.
Oh, projecting sense, so you cannot say that.
Because it's an avidya vritti that is causing the...
Exactly. So you can't say Rajata Abhava Pratiyogi is there.
You have seen the shell.
Then, yeah, because this shell, then he says, Pratiyogita avachedaka avachinna rajata sattva. Says sattva jnana abhavad. If I don't know the shell, I don't know the sattva, the existence of the shell. Therefore, how am I postulating an existence of silver? There also should be anupapattihi. You cannot see the silver because it's not the pratiyogi of Rajata Bhava. To escape that, if you are saying avagame sati, I accept that you know that there is shell, then he says avagame aproksha aproksha, I'm sorry, avagame aproksha avabhasasya tatkalina विषय सत्ता नित्यत्वाद रजते paramarthikatvam api anirvaraniyam. If you are saying no, you know the shell. If you know the shell and you are seeing the silver, then what happens? Rajatam becomes Vyavaharikam. Are you getting the argument? If you know that what is there is a shell and you are still seeing silver, what does it mean? You know what is there is rope. Yeah, this rope stick example is so stuck in your minds. No? You are conditioned by it. You know there is a rope and you are seeing a snake. What does it mean? If you know there is a rope and you are seeing a snake, what does it mean? Spell it out.
Fixation with snake.
I am saying you are seeing the rope and then seeing a snake as well. What does it mean? Simple question. Rohit has answered it well. There is a snake which can bite. There is a Vyavaharika snake there. Correct or not? Oh, God.
But Swamiji, one question. If everybody does not see.
I am giving you a specific example. If you are seeing the rope and seeing a snake, what does it mean?
Swamiji, it makes confusion of two perceptions.
Nope. You are seeing a rope and seeing a snake. Both you are seeing. What does it mean?
Yeah, that is confusion of two perceptions.
That is?
Confusion between two perceptions.
Confusion between two perceptions. That's exactly what he wants to establish. That means the snake that you are seeing has Vyavahara Yogyatvam. It's available for functioning, isn't it? If you're not understood.
Swamiji, basically you are seeing Satyam and Mithya both.
I am, all of you jump to conclusions. My question was very, very clear. I am repeating my question. You are seeing the snake and seeing the rope, both. What does that imply? You are seeing that there is a rope and you are seeing there is a snake. What does that imply?
Yeah, then there is a snake that is Vyavahara.
Exactly. Like you are seeing a table and you are seeing a chair. What does that imply? You are seeing a table, you are seeing a chair. What does it imply? Blank? Answer my question. You are seeing a table, you are seeing a chair. What does it imply? That there are two things there. Na? Table is there, chair is there. इसमें क्या confusion है? I am asking a simple question. You are seeing a table, seeing a chair. What does it imply? That there is a table there, there is a chair there.
Swamiji, but if you are seeing the rope and at the same time you are seeing the snake on the rope.
Did I say on the rope? Or did I say you are seeing a snake?
Snake and rope separately. Then it is Vyavahara, yes.
Simple question. See, you are not listening to the nuances. Abhi forget Tarkika nuance. Simple English nuance you are not listening. And why do you conclude there is the snake is real? Why do you conclude the snake is real when you are seeing the rope and the snake?
My perception was incorrect, then I could have seen both of them as either rope or both of them as either snake.
Perfect, Sanchit. Yeah. Did you all get what Sanchit said?
No.
If you had, if both were not there, if it was a mistake, you will see either rope or either snake. You will not see both, no? Correct? What is the rope snake example telling you? Let me go back to basics. What is the rope snake example telling you?
Projecting, no?
What is it telling you? That the rope itself is appearing as a snake. Perceived reality, objective reality, correct? Perceived reality is snake, objective reality is rope, correct? So you will see only one at a time. Now, let me modify this question further. Pay attention to this. If you know what is there as rope, if you know what is there as rope, and taking it as a snake means what?
Error, mistake, confusion.
Erroneous perception, no?
You know what is there as rope.
There is no confusion at all. You want it that way.
Forget, Devanuj, don't give me another example. Stick to the example I have given. Don't jump into another example. This example. If you know the,
It's just
Projecting, no?
if you know,
Ignorance.
if you know there is rope and you are still seeing a snake, what does it mean?
No, it's
There is some problem with the pramana.
There is a problem with the way you are using perception. Maybe because of the dim light, etc. It is appearing as that, but you are very clear it is rope. Will you jump? Will you look for a stick? You know, the moment you hear of rope snake, you will think illusion, illusion, illusion. Udhri baitha hai. You are not thinking, your understanding is becoming block, and I am trying to make you all think. But you are still thinking to that block understanding. Now,
it is just for us. When we know the truth and we know that we are not going to run away if we see that.
exactly like the flat earth you are walking on, isn't it? You know it's flat or you know it's round? Earth?
no, it is wrong.
What are you walking on? Round earth or flat earth? What's your experience?
We are walking towards experience.
So you know it is round and you are walking on flat. No?
Yeah,
Are you balancing and walking on a ball?
no.
What's happening to you guys today?
It is Vyavaharikam.
So now look at what he is talking about. After this background, look at what is avagame. If you know that it is a shell, then aparokshatva bhavasya, aparoksha abhavasya tatkalina vishya satta nityatva rajate paramartikatvam apniyam tvam api api nirvachaniyam, api anirvachaniyam rachatavan eva utpannam iti tad avichinna rajata satve tad abhava avichinnam abhavastra katam vartate iti chet. All right, thora long sentence. Okay, if you are accepting that you know the shell and you are seeing the silver. You are seeing the silver. Then you will have to say that silver also has validity. Again, people have got confused. Blank looks.
No, Swami. No. No, if we know there is a shell, then we should not.
But at the same time, you are seeing the silver. What his Purva Paksha is, understand. You know it is shell and you are seeing the silver. You are perceiving the silver. Therefore, he says the silver should have a Vyavaharika quality. If you are saying no, it does not have a Vyavaharika quality because the silver is not there, then it is what I said, it is confusion of two perceptions. The silver that you have seen in your home, you are putting it here. Can you see how his stuff has come up? Therefore, there is no anirvachaniya silver there, there is no projection of silver. Are you getting it? Or not getting it? Because he has put two options to you. Either you know or you don't know. If you know, then the silver cannot become pratibhasika. Because abhava pratiyugi is not there, you will not see it. If you are saying no, you know, then abhava pratiyogi will make it real. Then if you say it is not here, it is only a confusion of perceptions.
But
Now-
Swamiji, if I know that it is silver, if it's a shell, why should I project something else? I mean, my knowledge is so sure. Then what is the reason for projection?
I don't
Why-
know. You
why-
tell
why
me.
silver? I can think of anything.
See, this is a Purva He's given you two options. You know, you all are not trying to understand Purva and saying, this is Vedanta, this is Vedanta. मेरे को confuse मत करो. Then drop out of Vedanta Paribhasa class. I can stop the class after perception. हो गया, बस हो गया. You all are not ready for Vedanta Paribhasa. I mean, that option is always open. Why not? If you are studying Vedanta Paribhasa or any other text in Vedanta from now on, understand what the opposing argument is. Only that will give you clarity to Vedanta. If you don't understand opposing arguments, there is no clarity in Vedanta. Your Vedanta understanding is block. That is, if there is understanding. Or you read the words and formed a strong belief. Only when you challenge your understanding does it become real. And we are challenging. So, two options he gave. If you know the shell, the silver you will not see because abhava pratiyogitvam is not there. If you know, then the silver that you are seeing cannot be mithya, it has to be vyavahara yogyatvam. That vyavahara yogyatvam, the word he used here is paramarthikam. Then if you are saying, but I don't have the silver here, he will say it's a confusion of two perceptions. Your mithya jnanam goes out of the window. Clear? Summed up the three arguments in 1 minute. Is that clear?
Yes, Swamiji. Yes.
Not clear, tell me. I don't mind explaining it 100 times. Okay. Why does this, now let me drop the text. Why does this confusion come up?
Swamiji, please repeat, Swamiji,
Repeat what?
the last, the three parts that you were talking about.
He says, the Purva was this. Is, when you are seeing that silver, do you know there is a shell or not? Why is that question important? That question becomes important because unless you know something is there, you cannot mistake it for something else.
Yeah, that part is clear, yeah.
Therefore, if you know it is a shell, there is no way you can see silver. Because, and for that he gives a reason, silver, abhava, pratiyogi is not there. Then he says, if you don't know, that is first is if you don't. If you know and you are still seeing the silver, if you know still seeing, then the silver should have vyavahara yogitvam. But you are saying silver is not there here. So I am saying you confuse the perception of silver in your house with this. Simple. There is no projection of silver. Both the perceptions are valid. Therefore your Vedanta goes out of the window. Therefore Ahankara is valid, Atma is also valid. You don't have Advaita, you have only Dvaita. Simple. Got it? सिंपल इतना ही बात है हाँ इतना ही बात है okay leaving the text aside why is this problem coming up he has given you two vikalpas do you know the shell do you not know the shell how do we answer that can we take either standpoint you know or you don't know the shell can you take either standpoint
yeah we don't know the shell.
If you don't know the shell, then abhava pratiyogi is not there. You can't know the silver also.
So we know the shell. No.
If you know the shell, that's why I'm saying my question is simple, Baba. You characters have gone through all Brahma Sutras and all are sitting down in the class.
Swamiji, my experience may contradict my knowledge, but that doesn't make the experience real.
That is not the question. That is not the answer. The answer is simple as here. Listen to this now. I don't know the shell, but I know something is there. That sadbhavaha, that there is something existing, I know. Correct or not? How many times have I repeated? If you are not even aware that there is something there, you will walk by without seeing the snake also, no? Correct or not? Abhi yaad hai sabko?
Yes.
Now all of you are remembering it. You know, idam jnanam is there. Vishesha jnanam is not there. Have I not said this? I know that something is there. I don't know what it is.
Is that sadharan jnana vishesha?
Now you are bringing in something else. Some other words that you picked up here and there. Stick to the words that I use and what I am saying. Only then clarity will come. After that you can bring in other things. As simple as this. Idat jnanam is there, Vishesha that it is shell is not there. So that gets you out of that duality, either this or this, by giving a third option. If you are stuck only on the two vikalpas, you are stuck. You will have to say, I don't see the silver. But that is not true, you are seeing the silver. Then if you know the shell, it is only a confusion of perception. Here what we are saying in Vedanta is, I see that there is something, sadbhavam is there, the existence is there. I am not saying what it is, therefore ideal condition for mistake. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Then, now, but he is answering it slightly differently, okay? The answer is giving a slightly different, okay? He says, no, paramarthikatva syad adhishtana nishtasya rajatehi pratibhasika sambhavena rajata nishta paramarthikatva utpattihi anapyugamat. He says, if you know that rajatam is there, if you know the shell is there, the base of that rajatam is the shell. If you know that, there is no way you are going to project a silver. The base of the silver, which is the shell, if you know that, there is no way you are going to see the silver. Because unlike table and chair, you are not having two perceptions. You are having a unitary perception. See, this is important. Whenever I have done about Adhyasa, I have repeated that that it is only one unit perception. You are not seeing shell and silver. You are not seeing rope and snake. You are only seeing one thing, either snake or rope. Therefore, that unitary perception is important. If you knew the shell, there is no way you will see the silver. At the most, you will say, hey, it looks silvery, it shines like silver, it looks like a coin. But you will never take it as a coin. Then he says, Yatra aropya, aropyam asannikrishtam tatreva pratibhasika vastu utpari angikrita. He says, Yat aropitam, whatever is imposed, there itself the reality is. Na? If the silver is seen on the shell, the reality of the shell is right there. Because silver is pratibhasikam. The shell is not beyond the silver. The silver is superimposed on the shell. There is no beyond. Because your minds are still stuck on beyond, all these problems are coming up. That's why I keep negating that beyond business. The rope is not beyond the snake. Where the snake is, the rope is. Where your ahankara is, there the atma is. Why? Because ahankara is a mistaken notion of the atma. Simple. Purely projection. Snake is projection, silver is projection, ahankara is also projection only. Where is the reality? But you have read books, ahankara has to be destroyed, ahankara has to be negated, as a bhusa bar gaya. Oh, same thing. Yeah. Ateva indriya sannikrishtatya java kusuma. It's not java, it's a japa kusumagata lauhityasya spatike bhana sambhavat na spatika anirvachaniya laukika hida upapattihi. All right, before we go into that, this part of it, to clarify once again, okay? The problem comes because, to digress a bit, the problem comes because how does some sort of existence come into the silver that you are seeing? Because there is enough existence of the silver for you to see it. No? There is enough existence for the snake for you to see it. The question is, where does that existence come from? Where does the existence of the silver come from?
Memory.
Huh?
What you'd seen earlier. It's in your memory of what you'd seen earlier.
Where does the existence of the silver come from? There is where your confusions are. I recognize your confusion. Huh?
Shell from the
From the shell itself, it cannot come from anything else. The existence, again here, what I am saying, I have said this before 100 times. The existence of the silver is nothing but the existence of the shell. The existence of the snake is nothing but the existence of the rope. The existence of the kurta is nothing but the existence of the cloth. बोला है कि नहीं बोला है? बोला है ना?
Yes, yes. So existence of ahankara is existence of atma.
Exactly. So the existence comes from there. But here in making that vikalpa, he is making it as perception. What are you seeing? Because to see something, it must have some relative existence. It must have some existence. The question is, where does that existence come from? It comes from the locus itself. That is why you are seeing it there. If it is coming only from your mind, some of you answered it's coming from avidya, from the mind, then you could see it everywhere. But you are not seeing it everywhere. No? Where did you see it? You didn't see the silver here. आकाश में चमकता हुआ. You saw it on the shell. You didn't see the snake floating around. You saw it on the rope. Correct or not? So the existence of the mistake comes from the reality there. It's important to understand this. That's why he's saying known or not known. That's why he's giving you the argument, is it known, not known? It's both known and unknown. No? Because if it was not known completely, you would walk away without seeing the silver, without seeing the snake also. If it is known, there is no problem of neither the snake nor the silver. How can known and unknown exist in one and the same thing? That's where the amsha part comes in. One aspect is known, one aspect is not known. The aspect of this is known, satta spurti. That satta is known, that there is something is known, what it is not known. But Swamiji, is that part possible in the Atma? Atma doesn't have parts, no? Rope has parts, you can say that. Atma doesn't, you can say one part is known, one part is not known. Atma doesn't have parts, can you say that? Somebody is saying something, yeah. Is Atma, there is partless whole. How can you say one part is known, one part is not known?
Atma is one part, but we know very little.
I know that I am, I don't know what I am.
Exactly, it's simple as that. It is known as I, it is not known as pure consciousness. It is not known as Anantam Jnanam, it is known as Aham. Natu Atma ekantena avishayah asmat pratyaya vishayatvat. Those who have sat for my Adhyasa Bhashya class. Natu Atma ekantena avishayah asmat pratyaya vishayatvat. Because subject matter of I. So how can it be both known and unknown? That's the nature of avidya. What can I do? Agatana gatana gatiyati maya. That which is not possible, maya makes it possible. Are you getting this? Keep all these things in mind, otherwise going with blinkers on, it won't work. Lack of focus will not work, but blinkers on also will not work. Is this clear or is there any doubts here? Because this part is important.
Clear.
Clear, no? Okay. Okay, that is clear. Then.
Swamiji,
Yeah.
one more.
Yeah.
Then, what would be the difference between Pratibhasika and Vyavaharika? Because this also is.
Vyavaharika has got a functional validity.
And Pratibhasika is my apparent.
Yeah. See, when I say a book is valid for you and me, na?
Yeah.
But that rope snake is not valid like that. That's Pratibhasikam. Because you may see the rope, I may see the snake. So whoever seeing the snake has got a Pratibhasika aspect to it. Or, oh, Gita is beautiful. Some people say, I don't like Gita. Pratibhasikam. Emotions are Pratibhasikam. Are emotions real or Pratibhasikam?
Pratibhasika, like doubt,
Yeah.
like feel, like, yeah. Pratibhasika.
Because you may not like Karela, I may like Karela. So that is purely Pratibhasikam. Karela is Vyavaharikam. That there is something called bitter gourd is Vyavaharikam. Your like or dislike is Pratibhasikam. Yeah.
So Swamiji,
Yeah.
the locus focus of the snake is the rope from an existing.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
I mean, that's where you are projecting. But there is an aspect of your own avidya that is causing
Agreed.
the projection.
So what is being, that it is projection is because of avidya. The base of the projection is the existence of the rope is the base, no, for the projection. Projection can only happen on a base. There has to be a base, the reality there. That base existence is of that of the rope. That's what he is highlighting here. In this Purvaksha, what is meant to be highlighted is that. Because if you take it this way, that way you will miss it out. That's why that Vikalpa was created. Yeah. This is like eating nuts, thoda chabana padta hai. You can't just swallow a nut. You have to chew it up. Yeah. Okay. Then now he says, now in some places he says we can accept your standpoint. In some places we can accept your standpoint. What is that? Ateva indriya sannikrishtaya japa kusuma. This is written Java kusuma. That's a mistake. In the book it is written Java kusuma. It actually should be Japa kusuma gata lauhitasya spatike bhana sambhavat. न स्फटिके हे अनिर्वचनीय अलौकिक अलौहित उत्पत्ति. Now here is giving another example. Here is a crystal. Crystal is colorless, transparent. Behind that I have kept a japa kusumam. Japa kusumam is hibiscus flower, red in color generally. I kept a hibiscus. Then when I am looking at the shell, what do I see? Red color. I can see the red flower behind it because the crystal is transparent. But because there is a red flower behind it, the crystal also appears red. There both the crystal and this is Indriya Sannikrisham, isn't it? The crystal also Indriya Sannikrisham, the flower is also Indriya Sannikrisham. Both are in front of me, one is behind the other. At the same time, the red happens to come into the crystal because the crystal will appear red because there is a flower behind it. Correct or not? So here if you are saying the redness belongs to the flower and there is no projection, anirvachaniya redness is not created there. If you are saying, I will accept it, he says. Correct or not? There is no anirvachaniya redness, no? Just a reflection of the redness. There I will accept it. Therefore he says, Nanu evam yatra japa kusumam dravyantara avagatanad asarnikrishnam tatra lauhita pratidya pratibhasike lauhitasya svikaritam iti chet na ishtatvat. Supposing he says, if you have not seen the japa kusumam, the hibiscus flower behind the shell, you are only seeing the crystal, then you will have to accept, the Purvapakshan is saying, you will have to accept that you have projected a redness. There is no problem with us. That's our stand anyway. This is Ishtatva, that's desirable for us, there is no problem, we will accept it. If you see both, we will accept. It's only a transference. If you don't see one, you will accept as a unitary perception. We will say there is a projection, anirvachaniyam. So that's not a big argument against us. Yeah. Did you get this point or didn't get the point? Got the point. Okay. Evam pratyaksha bhrama antareshu pratyaksha samanya lakshana anugama Yathartha pratyaksha sthala lakshana sadbhavasya darshaniyam. Therefore, when you are defining perception, he says, therefore, in conclusion, when you are defining perception, then your mind went and saw that object, or your sense organs connection saw the object. Either way you take it. He says that simple definition will be applicable for prama and brahma. Prama is knowledge, brahma is error. What is seen by your eyes? If you are saying what is seen by your eyes, you will see the right thing, you will see the wrong thing also. Therefore, you will have to put, pramana jnanyan janam. You will have to put the word abhaditam, sad, etc. in front to make it applicable only for knowledge and to exclude Brahma from it. Abhaditam jnanam, if you use the word, then Brahma will be acknowledged. If you are just saying jnana janakam, then it will include Brahma also. Clear? सीधा बात है. Okay. Pratyaksha pramajanakam pramana. Whatever you see is called, pramana means whatever you are seeing, that will include error as well as correct. Then if you say abhadita jnana janakam pratyaksham, that which cannot be negated, vyavahara kale, what cannot be negated, if you are saying, then Brahma will be excluded from that definition. Otherwise, to put it technically, there will be ativyapti into Brahma, extension into Brahma. To prevent extension into Brahma, you will bring in the word abhaditam to restrict it to pratyaksha. Clear, no? Any questions? Shoot. Okay. Then, beg your pardon?
Means
That which gives rise to knowledge.
and Brahma also.
Yeah. If I am saying whatever you see is called pratyaksham, then even the rope snake is pratyaksham, no? Ah. I saw it with my own eyes. Yeah. You saw the snake with your own eyes. But is it knowledge? Is perception all right? Therefore, abhaditam, the word will have to be brought in to negate situations like this. Yeah.
So perception alone is not knowledge.
Perception is perception. What you see is what you see. If you have to use perceptual knowledge, then you will have to exclude error. To exclude error, you will have to call it abhaditam. Because error is also seen. Can you say, I am not seeing error? If you are not seeing error, where is the question of what is right and wrong? What is knowledge and what is Brahma question doesn't come up. That's why in Tamil the word Prama, Brahma both are sound and written also is same. No? Because Pa, Pa, Bha, Bha is not there. It was there. It was there once upon a time. Pa, Pa, Bha, Bha, divisions was there in Tamil once upon a time. Then this idiot Dayanadi is his ancestor. Okay, the DK family, one scholar came up there and said, let us simplify Tamil. Remove all this, one word is enough. Why do you need four? Otherwise they would write Pa and put a dot in 4 places to indicate what is the class of letters. It is Pa, Bha, Bha, Ma, whatever it is. Pa, Pa, Bha, Bha. It used to be there.
Numbers P1, P2.
Yeah, like that. So now they knocked it off. That's how great intellectuals are produced in Dravida Kazakam.
Sanatana
No. What to do?
Shall we say that they belong to the Asada?
I don't want to go into that now. Here, let us stick to this. Here it is simple as that. Yeah. Prama, Brahma, you have to make a difference. You cannot say I can't make a difference between Prama and Brahma. Because your functioning is based on Prama, not on Brahma. If your as it is based your functioning on knowledge, you have problems. If you make your functioning based on erroneous knowledge, what type of problems you will have? My scripture says earth is flat. You'll never be able to sail around the earth. My scripture says earth is stationary. Sun goes around. You'll never have gravity, then you'll never be able to know what gravity is. You will have no understanding of centrifugal forces affecting earth. All Brahma will become. I mean, more problems. You have to live in the Stone Age. Yeah, I mean, that'll become a problem then. Yeah. Like this guy got into the taxi and said, "Stop that music." Doing that when my religion was given, that music was not there. So the taxi driver opened the door of the car and says, "Please get out." When your religion was given, taxis are also there now. Go ride a donkey. I mean, on Prama there is problems, Brahma, how much problems will be there then? So, because you are functioning on Prama, you have to make the difference between Prama and Brahma. Therefore, what is Pratyaksham, what is incorrect, all that will have to be this thing, taken into account. So, in the definition also you have to take into account. Yeah. Why does science spend so much of time in creating a framework for a definition? Under this condition, under this, all making it clear that it is Prama, not Brahma. Vyavaharakali, as far as your transaction goes. And you are dealing with the transactional life when you are dealing with these things. Okay, good place to stop. I could go into there's only one little big para left for this whole section. But I want you all to do one thing. Next class, come up with all your doubts about the person. Go over perception, go over it. Okay. And come up with your doubts, because even though the para of law, it will take me only about 20 minutes to do this para. 15-20 minutes. So I will do that, handle all the doubts that can come up. Actually, because half of you are online, I am not doing this. I would have said, sum up what you know about what you gained from this perception. What are your takeaways from this chapter, and let me know. I may do that at the end of it, okay? Yeah. So good place to stop now. Om Tat Sat.